A little music break for you. Any shout-outs yet?
Yes, hello Eric Jag. Thanks for listening.
Shout out to Eric Jag, and also see his From the Heart video that he did at Casa Cosmica, First Street Cali Studios.
Cali, First Street Studios, yes.
First Street Studios. And all I got to say about that is that it's very touching, it's very from the heart, and it's kudos to on the artist, Lily Flor. Because
Lily Flor,
it's a mural.
Amazing.
It's a mural of her mom, right?
It is actually. Unfortunately, she lost her mother, and she did this beautiful mural. It's very colorful, and I'm lucky enough to have the back room. So my studio / room faces that mural, and I get to see it every day, and it's wonderful. It has mother energy, and it's gorgeous.
And you know what's cool about it is Eric, your friend,
he came, with me when we came back from the East Coast, and he saw that mural, and it resonated with him. He was like, "Wow!"
Yes, it did, because
he also lost his mother. Yes, he lost his mother, and so he says, I really, every time I come here, I feel good. This is like, it's just a crazy community house, and I love all the art. So he says, I'm gonna start documenting. So he did his video, right next to that mural by Lily Flor.
And please watch the mural and share it, because it's going to help the cause of them keeping their home.
Yes, and I really just spread the word if you feel like we should stay here, and especially I wanted to say to you, there have been many people that have come to the house for our events and for social stuff and everything. From we gave you the list, everything from yoga to Sweat Lodge. I mean, there's been so many people through our door.
And drawing, right?
And drawing and art and everything.
And music.
So if you're listening out there and you haven't been to the house, we want to just tell you what's up with it, and that and if you feel that we should stay, then let us know. Because
be in solidarity.
Yeah, we're basically asking for your attention to this, because, and it's not just us, it's not just our house, it's the whole block. It's going to, if this goes through, we are looking at a huge amount of property changing forever. You can't go back in time. Once things are removed, historic buildings, families, communities, once that happens, I want you all to know, and be mindful about it. I mean, we all kind of say this, but you can't go back. You don't erase the tape. What happens and in the removal is gone.
Right. In this corporation, apparently they're going to give you guys, I don't know, there's a correct legal term. It's not first dibs. That's more like a child. The first choice to come back, but it's not guaranteed, right?
Well, no, there is. That's a point of contention, because here we have this right to return. Well, it isn't a right to return if you need to meet qualifications to return. Meaning, not very many of us will be able to return based on the interview process and all that needs to be, the criteria that needs to be met. So that's not a right to return at all. That's a possibility, a slim possibility of returning, and never returning to a space that we use today, never returning to the square footage, never returning to a place where we can do the things that we do now. That's another important thing.
And you know what, Amelia, another thing is,
because I want to just say briefly, the new structure will not give us the ability to do what we do.
You've seen the renderings of how they're going to look, and they have a pleasant sounding name, but it's never going to be the same. They're like uprooting, taking people out.
Well, that's a good point, and I wanted to point out the new structure. I think instead of a small amount of people, it would be a larger amount of people in smaller rooms, smaller studios or apartments or whatever. And I want to make it clear, I'm not against change in urban growth and slow growth and making things accessible to people. I'm not against that at all. But I think I really just feel for myself and all the other neighbors because I don't think that we're going to benefit from this. And respectfully, I say, you know, we don't want to move. We don't want to leave. And I think that there's space for us here, and we've got a good thing going on. And I don't really think it's advantageous for us to move. I think it would be damaging for some of us to move. You know, right now rents are going up, and we know that, you know, and you know, rent going up is a part of life, and we accept that, but we don't want to be displaced into a totally different area where it goes up 4 or 5 times almost overnight.
And another thing is, that we have rent control. So by removing these people out, they're gonna, you know, they're essentially getting rid of your rights, your rent control.
Well, I am not. Our house is not rent control. I want to make that clear. Not every.
There's some that
it's done by address, and there are some that are rent control. So there are people that have been locked into rent, and you know, they have to brace themselves if this goes through. They have to brace themselves for. I mean, this is the kind of thing that can make people homeless and very fast.
And you know what?
Very fast.
This organization, this corporation, in their mission, they're supposed to be for the people. They're supposed to be fighting gentrification. It doesn't sound like it.
Well, okay, you know, here's the thing. I am not doubting that ELAC, that's the name, and East Los Angeles, you know, I'm not saying that they haven't done benevolent things in the past. I'm not saying that they probably haven't done some good. They probably have. But in this case, this is a flawed idea. This is not a benevolent idea for people, for low income. It just isn't. I mean, we've sat there and you know, we've seen rents go up all over Los Angeles, and we've seen, you know, what the plan is, and it's not beneficial. And not only just for us being displaced, it's not beneficial for Boyle Heights. Boyle Heights, I want to, you know, what I have learned here, since I've been here for a year and a half, is that Boyle Heights is a beautiful historic neighborhood. It's Japanese, it's Mexican American, and it's Jewish. There's one of the oldest shuls is here, one of the oldest synagogues. And, well, you know, you decide, you know, you keep destroying a whole city block. It's not going to look this way. It's not going to be historic anymore. It's going to completely change. So I don't think that's what people want anywhere. I don't really think that that's progressive. I don't think it's progressive. I think it's removal.
And another thing is, I think of course, the whole block is historic, you know, because Boyle Heights is one of it is the first suburb of the city, you know.
I think so, and you know, Evergreen is down the street.
Cemetery.
We you know, and there's the Van Nuys and the Lankershams are buried there. There's also that has a bunch of history and controversy in itself, because there was that section. There's the crematoriums are there. There's that section of land where outside the cemetery where the unclaimed, I believe the unclaimed are cremated and interned there every December, and it's a beautiful ceremony. It's very sad to think, but you know, Boyle Heights has even been, you know, a place where we bury our unknown and our unwanted and unclaimed. I mean, it's just we have to have that legacy. We have to, like, you know, keep taking care of our community.
And one little note. One of the houses does look like it's historic, you know, just the way the architecture.
It was broken up into a duplex. You're right.
Right.
You know, and it has stained glass windows.
It looks like it's from the turn of the century or something.
It's beautiful. It has stained glass. It has some original stained glass.
Yeah.
And it's gorgeous. I love walking down the street here. I love seeing the houses. I think there's a lot that could be, you know, I believe that, yes, we have to brace ourselves for the popularity and new people coming in. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I've only been here a year and a half. Yeah. I have to be tolerant I'm tolerant. Yeah. But at the same time, there's, you know, a very dramatic sweeping removal is frightening. I mean, it's very frightening, not just for me, and not just because I like how pretty houses are. These are people's homes. You know, these are people who are, you know, they have less options. Some of my neighbors have less options than I do. Mm-hmm. And it's
and you guys have invested hours, weeks, months, years in your art and your craft. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's displacement. Anyways, we're going to talk more about it. We're going to talk with Amelia more about her art, but we're going to take another musical break right now, okay? And speaking of East, we're going East with a Chico Hamilton Quintet here at Radio Sombra with Contact with Humberto.